with some churches that we've gone to, it's depends on like how they arrange it and like when they do remodels and stuff with it. The pipes on the outside that that we can see, like when people walk in, do these speak or are they silent and just there for decoration?
So the facades do not speak,
okay,
with the exception of the flat on the swell side of the chancel. That is the bases. If you're looking at the Tiffany window here in the chancel, you'll get a shot of that at some point, I guarantee it. On the left side inside the chancel, that is the 16-foot double diapason on the grate.
Okay.
And that speaks, but everything else...
It's just there for the nice look.
It is the decorative. Okay. Over the years, the facades were added in the front because at one point, it was just grill cloth. Mm-hmm. I believe in the 70s or early 80s that these facades were put back in. You'll want to get out in the hallway. There is an entire display case on the history of the organ and
I thought I saw a little bit of that coming in earlier today.
All kinds of goodies.
So a little bit about you, because you had mentioned a little off camera that you're kind of like new as like the minister of music.
So,
but you've been working on this organ for quite a while.
So in January of 2024, I started here as the minister of music and organist. After a long time minister of music, Scott Fredericks retired. He is responsible for building this incredible legacy and program here. One of the finest music programs in the country, if I am able to say so. So Scott, thank you. I started here in January, again, as the minister of music, but in 2015, my first job was, my first career path was tuning organs and then being an organist choir master on the side. And I am the sales and service representative for Austin Organs, and that still continues today. And when the renovation was going on, they needed somebody local because I live in Baltimore. I'm only 45 minutes away. So I've been taking care of this thing really since it's been renovated. So I've touched every pipe. I've tuned this organ through once. To do a through tuning on this, it will take a month because you have to take pipes out. Temperature's got to be right. And after 5 or 6 hours, you are done. Green and done for.
Yeah, you want to be done with it. Yes.
So I've been there, done that, been in places this organ that no one else can. My tuning assistant has held me by my belt to reach down into places that you don't even want to go to grab problematic pipes and work on them. Yeah. So and you'll get to see some of that in a little bit.
So you mentioned as well, because for this organ, some of this is, when you hear it, some is pipes, but some of it is also Walker Digital, which is interesting for us.
One problem with this instrument is that it did not have a balanced pedal division. There is a 30-rank pedal division behind the swell, but there were only two 32s on the organ, the 32-foot contrabordant and the original 1924 32-foot contrabombard. The contrabombard was up in the solo, and it was a product of bad zinc. So we decided, they decided in the renovation, let's make it digital. And that was one of the best things that it could happen because it blends. There are no manual stops that are digital. Strictly pedal are the Walker technical. Specifically a handful of the 32s and a handful of stops here on the great and choir side because there was not enough smaller pedal stops in smaller scale and volume to accompany the choir because you don't want the big diapason on the other side unless you're doing something big to drown out the choir. You want it to be able to be balanced because, again, another luxurious embarrassment of riches that this entire organ is enclosed. So you can accompany on a dream with this. And the digital was added. And you wouldn't know what is digital because, again, Walker is the finest
they are
in
extremely
digital.
good, yes. I mean, it's funny because in some ways, we've heard talks about, that pipes are the way to go, but also I feel like as technology advances, Walker has very much proven themselves to be the #1 producer of digital organ sounds and voices for stuff and
I
projects like
definitely
this.
would agree with you on
Yes.
that. The Walker Digital is the way to go,
Yeah.
especially with their 32-foot and 16-foot extensions.
With their Quakers and what they have.
The way they are able to
do it.
reproduce
Yeah.
the sound, because there's not a lot of room for anything else in these chambers. The Walker was the way to go. And if you don't have space for 32s and you've got the right stuff, the Walker will, and you can tell on this instrument, it will move the air and in this room.
And it's reasonable pricing too. It's not like it's gonna take all your money out of your pocket per se, but it will.
It enables
it'll
you
work
to put the pipe ranks in, the real 8-foot diapason over the digital version, or a 32-foot reed. With the way costs are, you're looking at close to maybe even $100,000.
Yeah.
Give or take, plus or minus, with a 32-foot rank.
And maintenance is a lot nicer too, because then you don't have to worry about as much.
It's definitely a little bit easier.
Yes.
It enables you to have that extra, rank or two that you would like. So definitely, but again, this is 247 pipe ranks alone. The Walker is the extension
to that, yes. So now the sounds, we heard during some of the recordings, those are Walker as well, correct?
Yeah, the percussions are Walker.
Yes,
so you have a ton of percussions here. You've got a bass drum, you've got a roll cymbal, you've got a crash cymbal. This is actually real. You have a slide whistle. So it's great for the kids. You've got the usual accoutrements of the harp. That is the real harp, but you've actually got the other goodies. You've got the pedal chimes. It would help if I pulled the stop out all the way.
Yes, it would be.
The other part is you've got the carillon plays on this organ, the Mass Row carillon. So that is another portion of the whole thing. Plays in the front, back. You can also play it outside. I've made the mistake of practicing at midnight, getting a phone call saying, Ben, you are playing carillon and people in town are getting aggravated because you're waking them up.
Whoops.
That's a big whoops.
Whoops. Hopefully it hasn't happened too many times.
I did do it on Easter Sunday morning, but
ouch.
That point,
Yes, that's not a good one.
I didn't really care because, again, it's Easter Sunday.
Yes, no, yeah.
Again, this organ has every bit of surround sound. You've got nothing else. The bath of 8-foot tone, what everybody talks about on this organ is you've got that 8-foot sound, and then you've got organ everywhere. You've got the grate. You've got the choir over here sharing the same box. And then you've got the solo with all the big stuff and a big giant principal chorus. But as I say, wait, there's more. You've got the entire swell. And then you've got a string division, which is above the swell. Then you've got the antiphonal division, which is the back left of the balcony. And then put it all together, you've got pretty much about as full organ in the front as you're going to want to go. You've got full organ in the back. And then put it all together, you've got very full organ. In some of the pieces that I played, you'll hear it louder, but it's pretty thrilling. With this instrument, there's nothing terribly, unfortunately loud that's going to scare everybody.
Right. It just kind of fills the room with music that everyone wants to
It is
hear.
a bath of sound from the softest of soft to the loudest of loud. That is not, again, something that's going to scare everybody.
Right. Yeah.
This console is loaded with features. It's got a bajillion memory levels, over 1,000, 15 divisionals. You get 30 levels of memory per user, so it's endless. The best part about it is when you're playing, if you make a mistake with something in a division that you don't want, it's got cancel bars on everything. It's very, very thoughtfully laid out.
Yeah.
Very comfortable to play.
And you said the former organist, helped, I guess you said,
so
design
Scott
it?
Fredericks and then Associate Minister of Music Karen Buckwalter, both really were thoughtful in the layout of this console, because before, this console was a tab console. If you're familiar with Austin tab consoles, they're across the entire way.
Right, yeah.
And it was a lot smaller. But this is, for ease of use, all the principal choruses are on the outside of the jam, which is really great.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, we haven't seen one something like that on the channel yet. I'm hoping to eventually, but yeah, this is definitely for Austin, and obviously working with people from the church that make it as they want to to their specifications. It's really great when they can do that.
The best part about this instrument is it was not made to be a landmark monument of just a hodgepodge.
Yeah.
This has been so thought out through the years and through the test of time that this, its first and foremost job is to lead worship in the song of our good Lord here. And then, of course, the console does move, so it's a fantastic concert instrument. So again, the organ just continues. You're in the string division right now. You have a pair of everything, all the way up to 4-foot pitch.
Yep.
And then in the front is the 3-rank little cornet de viol. Then up here on the wall, you've got a Vox Humana in a box, so you got a box. This goes from 4-foot all the way down. You've got 4-foot, 8-foot, and a 16-foot string up against the wall.
Now, I'm assuming, if I'm right, the thing on the end there, Zimbelster?
That is the Zimbelster.
That's what I thought. Yeah, we've seen it two different styles of that. Well, you probably saw the one at the Presbyterian. Yeah, that one was a pretty cool one. Didn't even know they had that. Nice, very nice. All right.
Again, another luxurious division.
Yeah.
Above you, right there, is the Vox Humana box.
Oh, it is? Okay, got it. Got it.
Solo
Nice.
division. In front of you here is the Tuba Sonora. To your left over here is the orchestral oboe. You've got the corno di bassetto. You've got the, what is this rank here? The bassoon. You have the Dulce flute. Continuing on, you have one of the celestes. The orchestral flute takes up 2 bars. Then you've got part of a gross flute, the 8-foot lead diapason, some other goodies. Right here you see the brass trumpet.
Yes.
In front of that is the 16-foot bass clarinet, and in front of that is the diapason.
Wonderful.
It all goes.
Yep.
Part of the gross flute, the biggest flute here on the organ, is right here. And then watching your step continuing in. In front of us is the French horn. Over here against the wall is part of the old 32-foot bombard that I was telling you about.
Pretty tall.
Yeah, the
Caleb
bottom,
looks small there with that.
The bottom 12 used to live over here. To the right here of Caleb is the bottom octave of the 16-foot bass trombone. And over here, on this chest here, you have the 4-rank mixture, the 2-rank tertian. You have the doppel flute. You have the 8-foot trombone and the 4-foot clarinet. On this chest here where I am, in front of you, you have the orchestral horn. This speaks on 20 inches. It is a French horn on steroids.
Yeah.
And then behind that, you have the trumpet royale that also speaks on 20 inches. That is the big honk that you hear.
Mm-hmm.
And then over here, you have part of another flute. You have the gamba and the celeste, and the meat and potatoes of the gross flute is here. You have, of course, the offset basses and everything else elsewhere.
Very impressive for how it's all stacked in here.
Amazing.
Yeah. Stacked very nicely in here.
So we are in the lower grate and choir. In front of you, Stephen, is the main grate. You've got first and second open diapason, 4-foot octave. You have Gemshorn and Gemshorn Celeste, 8-foot harmonic flute, 16-foot contraviola. It just goes on. And then where I am here is the lower choir. You've got the 8-foot clarinet, the oboe d'amore. The 4-foot Rochalmai is right here in the front.
The one here, right here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
4-foot Rochalmai, oboe d'amore, 8-foot clarinet, 8-foot trumpet, and then you have the one of the 2-foot or 4-foot flutes. There's so much. Oh no, that is the choir 4-foot principal, right there. And then you've got string celeste, quinadina, another string and celeste, a flute. And it just goes on, and
Yeah.
of course the Walker chamber speakers.
Okay, right there. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you're looking at the great mixture chest. 11 ranks of mixture on that chest, and then you're looking up there at the upper choir and the upper grate. Pretty treacherous if you're not the technician to get up there.
Yeah.
As a lay person, so I'm gonna let you just take a. This is, you know, the view of a lifetime here at St. Matthew, I think. You've got the entire length of the nave. And in the balcony, you have 2 divisions. Where we are right now, if you look to the right, you have the celestial division. That's got the 8-foot diapason, 4-foot octave, 2-rank Rausch quint, a tromba, a handful pairs of celestes, the 4 vox humanas at 16, 8, 8, and 4, and a couple of flutes that are absolutely beautiful. The whole flute at 8-foot, the 4-foot harmonic flute. Lots of color. I use that second division here, the diapason chorus, to pull the front organ together when the room is pretty full. And here to the left, you have the new antiphonal division that's around 33 ranks. 8-4-2 mixture. You've got a 16-8 unit trumpet. You have a 16-8 unit oboe and waldhorn at the base. 2 different sets of 8-foot strings, a separate 4-foot dulcet and dulcet celeste, which is a luxury. Flutes, 8-foot chimney flute, 4-foot, here's a 4-foot ball flute, I'm not sure. There's so much organ. And it, again, pulls the front organ out of the whole area, brings it all together. And now that we've got a really good shot, on the left you have the swell, then the upper swell, the string is above that, and then in the chancel, above the Tiffany window, is the solo, and then to your right, again, is the grate and the choir. And then I forgot to mention, on the left side behind the swell is the 30-rank pedal division. So it's luxurious.